Hey, welcome back. It's another The Exponential Files show brought to you by Jim Lowenstern, your host, and I'm Larry Laufer. Each week, we celebrate EXP agents and the incredible things we do across the world. Today, we have Dounia Fadi from Dubai. She's going to talk about a variety of things, how she does business, how business is being done, the region, and all of that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dounia. How are you today?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am very good. Thank you. It's your morning, my night. So
It's our afternoon. So what time is it there?
it's right now it's like 10 p.m., 10:09.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Not terrible. All right.
No.
So let's get right into it. How many years have you been in real estate, and what did you do before EXP? And tell us how you came to be with EXP.
Sure. It's an exciting time to be with EXP. So I have been in real estate for 18 years. My entire career has been I stumbled upon real estate by default, and then I could never quit doing or selling real estate and managing teams. Just a quick journey of mine. I started in 2005 as a regular broker, and in Dubai, broker or agent is the same thing. We don't have a difference between those two. And basically, broker or agents can call themselves anything, and they join a brokerage. That's how it works. So I was a broker working with an agency at the time as a salesperson. And then just quickly, a year later, I was lucky. A friend of mine started a real estate company, and he didn't have the experience, but he had the money. And he asked me to join as a sales manager. I did that, and then I stayed in that company for 10 years. I became a CEO, hired around 65 agents, operated in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, selling London, Brazil. So I had quite an international experience early on in my career. And then after that, due to some reasons, a partner joined, and I just decided to leave that business and start my own, which I started in 2016. I had that business for almost 4 years, 3 years. Then Berkshire Hathaway Home Services opened a franchise in Dubai. They asked the local owners here, asked me to join them. I was very excited. Of course, the brand is highly respected. I joined them. I merged my business basically with them. And we ran that together for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. But I wasn't very happy. It was a franchise. I really loved, the leadership, and I loved everything about the brand. But unfortunately, locally, I wasn't very satisfied with the operations. So I decided to go on and start my own again. And then somebody knew I was available and recommended me to EXP. I remember I was in a trip to Istanbul to celebrate a family wedding, and I was getting, calls arranged with the leadership of EXP. And I really, after they explained everything, I was very, very excited. I got very interested because I was just gonna go on and start a regular real estate, traditionally, everything conventional, same way, do the same thing. And I think after 18 years in the business, you want to do things differently. And that's what attracted me to EXP. I thought, yes, I want to be the one bringing change to Dubai, to our market, to our industry, because I do hold a very strong position in this industry. So I wanted to be the one who brings this change. And and then we agreed that I would work with EXP. EXP team liked me as well. And we started this journey together. In fact, today, let's say yesterday I completed a full year with EXP.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wonderful.
What's interesting to me there, Dounia, is that you, like many agents, have gone through franchises, and because we're self-employed and we have to be taking our own actions and paying attention to our business, we realize that EXP provides the greatest opportunity for people who want to improve and want to make change. And I think it's wonderful. And you're a 6X icon agent right now? That's amazing.
I'm not yet an icon, but I did the cap and a half, I call it, with my first transaction in Dubai in our very, very early months when we started operations. So yeah, I take pride in that. And I think what it is, you know how EXP is agent centric. I personally and professionally care about the agents as well. I care about the people that work with me. I care about their success. I feel responsible for their success. I'm like, if they're going to join me, I have to help them. It is my responsibility to make them successful, you know, and I try as much as I can to engage with them from the beginning and explain how, you know, the business works if they are new or if they come from a little bit of experience and background of real estate. I try my best to explain how not easy to go, you know, to become a successful real estate agent, but how also it's not difficult if you are doing the right things and being consistent. So I take pride in that. And EXP, when I met the team, it was all about agents, you know, about their compensation and how they become successful. And when I went to EXP Con, because of course I joined in June and I had only online interactions with the team, and I had so many people reach out to me when they found out about Dubai is getting open. But then I decided to go to eXpCon in Vegas, and I made it a point to go there because I wanted to meet the team I'm working with. I wanted to understand the culture very well, and it was such a delight when I went there because everyone I met, and as you know, there were so many Asians that took stage. Like 142, I think, of Asians that were speakers, and everyone had a story to tell, and every story was wonderful. How they wish they knew about EXP way long, you know, a long time before. How some people just joined in and are so excited. How some people have actually started with Glenn, his journey from the beginning. It was just wonderful. It just reinforced my belief in the company, and I came back all, you know, recharged and energetic to take on the world here in Dubai.
Well, let's roll back to Berkshire Hathaway for just one moment and not to focus just on that brand or that franchise, but the difference between working for a franchise and working for EXP, which is, I would say, the unfranchised business model, which may never have really existed before on a level as large as EXP has grown. Dounia, what do you think the main differences are? Like, what did you find lacking at Berkshire Hathaway that you found at EXP?
I think the business model, because when the franchise opened here, we adopted the same model that everyone else is doing. So we were playing in a very similar, you know, field or level with EXP, but the company had a lot of legacy and expertise and resources as well. It was amazing. The team was wonderful, but I think the compensations and everything was different. It was similar, to what already exists. I think what EXP brings is innovation, technology, equity into the company. I mean, which company you would feel we're all responsible for its success because we are all shareholders. So that is absolutely different. And then building a passive income which is a choice you take, right? You're not forced to build your downline or seek to earn revenue share, but this is something that if you wish to pursue or do, you do. And of course, it'll be silly not to do it because it's really a good thing and a plus. So I think it's the innovation. I think EXP is like the millennial generation kind of, if you were to do a comparison. And the technology and the freedom and a lot of
interesting
things.
Yeah, because Larry and I are definitely that demographic, and we knew that already.
But you do. I mean, you guys are using the technology, you are growing your business within EXP, which is amazing. So yeah, we become one generation when we are with EXP, you know.
That's a very nice way to say it. We become one generation when we join EXP. That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, that's a nice one. And it's true.
And it is true. And it's definitely built for the entrepreneurial type I think the whole sharing part that in many agencies that I worked with, they all say they teach you. They all say you get a good education, but most of them plunk you in front of a video and hope you watch it. At eXp, it's far more active because of the eXp world and the avatars that we can be. We can get a question answered at any time. And there isn't an
Yes.
agent out there who hasn't been at, well, you're at 10 p.m. You could have a client call you and ask you a very specific question you don't know the answer to. And you could go into the eXp world or use your avatar and go ask, and you'll get the answer.
I got an answer last evening at around 10 o'clock from Workplace.
Yeah. But do you guys know that we have just, we are testing Luna as an AI bot right now. And that will provide support 24/7, even beyond 10 p.m. When you ask question to Luna, she will answer you the question, the answer you need.
In which company owns Luna?
Right,
is that an eXp product?
It's an eXp, yeah. It's going to be our AI.
So,
but it's testing mode right now. It's learning.
The big AI Wall Street movement of stocks. Maybe this will push EXPI higher. Who knows? But I guess it's just for our company. It's not AI for the world. Like chat. Oh, I think Dounia got
It's
frozen.
more about helping. Yeah, it's more about helping us as agents. When we need help. Can you help? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. So it's more for us as people who work with eXp to help us, to guide us, to answer questions around the clock, which is amazing. Which will make our work easier towards our clients.
So let's talk about real estate in Dubai. It's certainly now is Dubai more in your description of it more of like a state, a country, a city? I mean, the architecture that we see, of course, is incredible.
Yeah, it's an emirate because we are United Arab Emirates, but it's like United States, but it's a city / Emirates more than states. I think there are cities within states, but this one.
How many square miles?
Oh, that's a good question. I never really looked at that.
Okay. Now, how long does it take you to travel from one side to another in a Lamborghini?
Maybe 15 minutes. No, I'm joking. I mean, you could go in from my house, for example, to the airport. It's a 35 minutes drive. And that's like the airport is on the other side of town, but they're building another airport close to me, which will take me 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
And what's you have, I think, the tallest building in the world?
We do.
Behind
me, if you see in the background, that's Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
Is the highest tower in the world. Yes.
How many?
Here in Boston, it can take you half an hour to get one block in the city when it's tied up.
We don't have that. Our suburbs, like we don't even call them suburbs, but what would you guys refer to as suburbs here is like 20 minutes drive, or in traffic, it's going to be 35, 38 minutes because it's a little bit outside the downtown side.
So, Dounia, were you born in Dubai?
No, I am originally from Morocco. I was born and brought up in Morocco, but as soon as I graduated from high school and did 1 year, I came here for a holiday, and then I decided to stay, work, and continue my studies. So I've been living here 18 years. So I lived my adulthood here, which means this is home for me. And it's been a wonderful place to adapt to. I have 3 beautiful children, and my family, my husband, we all enjoy living in Dubai. This is home.
How many hours do you have to study to get a license? And do you take a test? And do you have to continue to upgrade your license?
All right, so that's a good question. So here we have private institutes that can give you a course called the Real Estate Broker course, which is given over 4 days. Could be in person or online. It's not a government requirement to take the course anymore. It used to be, but it's not. It's a choice. But the government has put together an exam, which is 30 questions, multiple choice. And to pass that exam, I would always advise the broker / agents, whatever, to take that course, because you want them to at least understand the regulations, the framework, all the theory parts about our business. So you have to take an exam, and you have passing rate is 75%, but it's very, very simple, very easy. If you don't wish to take the course of 4 days, then in the government website, you are able to obtain some books and trainings that will allow you to prepare pre-exam for the exam. And yes, every year gets renewed along with the license of the company you work for.
So
Every year,
besides-
do you have to take a new
Every year you
test?
have to retake the exam, yes. And if you work 5 years with one company, then you no longer need to take that exam. But if you move
Oh.
company, then you have to do the exam.
Well, that was my other question. So, how many of the franchises that we all know are already doing business in Dubai?
So we have quite a few of them. We have Coldwell Banker, we have Keller Williams, we have Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, we have Remax, we have Sotheby's, we have Christie's. All of them are here, to be honest. I mean, just some of the names in America are not here, but most of the known ones, Worldwide, Engel & Volker, all of them are here.
So is it
But they
known
all
more?
adopted the same model as the rest of the homegrown brands, except I think Keller Williams had something different, but they opened very early in the market, and I think it was too early for their model to be introduced here.
And I'm
I
guessing
think
they
for
all
EXP, it's the
have,
perfect time.
sorry, I guess they all have physical offices
They do. They have all physical offices. They all have same.
and EXP just virtual, or is there a physical office?
So we do have, because the legal requirements here, you need the physical office on your license. And I did choose a very strategic location for that office to have. It's in Dubai Marina, one of the very prime locations and developments in Dubai. And we do welcome agents to come by. It's just within a business center, of course. The common facilities are wonderful, but we have a small office where we operate. If I have meetings, I go there. The transactional operations specialist as well is with me there. And I make it a point, because again, the nature of Dubai is a small city. We can all get together, not a problem. So now I make it a point every other Monday, we do get together like face to face, and everyone gets to share what they're doing during the week, what they're working on, what help do they need. And then we do online meetings, of course, twice a week as well.
So how many agents are there already?
So right now we
Dubai?
have around 12 to 13 agents. I have a lot more on the waiting, but process of onboarding in Dubai is totally different, because we all are expats here. Most of us, 90% of the population is expats actually. So we do require a visa, residency visa, work permit, residency visa, ID, and then broker card. And also that process takes between 2 to 4 weeks to onboard someone officially into the team. So of course, we are not going to be, if it was just a click of a button, sign your ICA and move on, I would have had 200 by now. But we have to, there are some certain requirements. You need attested education certificates, you need this and that. So it takes us a little bit longer than the rest of EXP to onboard here.
So
Oh.
What kind of properties are you working on right now? Do you have anything that we can look at? I don't know if you'd
So
lock
there
that.
are various properties here. Like I mentioned, there are two. There is under construction, and which is doing so well here because it's very highly regulated. And we have a lot of international investors for various long-term rent, for selling later on with a profit, or for short-term holiday home. As you know, there's tax-free here on property or any income you generate from it. And we have secondary ready stock that individuals are selling. So yes, we have, I'm working personally. I do get some leads and some referrals from my own clients. So I'm kind of obliged sometimes to keep on doing sales, which makes me also happy. I get very happy to help someone buy a home or an investment. So I do it every now and then. But yeah, I mean, I sold the properties we sell now are mostly on the beach, close to the water. A lot of Europeans have come in here due to the, the conflict that we have in Eastern Europe. And some of the Arab countries are moving here. We have a lot of people from Canada, from the US are now starting to explore this part of the world. So yes, the demand is high, and there are villas, there are apartments, everything gets sold here. Anything and everything gets sold here, to be honest, because again, they build well, the facilities they build nice communities. So people trust the developers here on what they launch.
Yeah, so that's one of my questions. Isn't there like a 30-year lease on a lot of properties? Some properties you can't buy, you can only lease them.
Yeah, so
Let's
there
talk
is
about that.
Yes, in Dubai, we have areas called designated areas. That means freehold. And you as an expat or me or anyone who's not a local or a GCC can buy. Even local and GCCs can buy, but there are areas that are restricted just for GCC and locals. And there are areas that are freehold. But I can tell you right now that the areas that have now become freehold are far more. And you have a lot of GCC and locals buying in them as well.
What's GCC?
GCC is the Gulf Council countries. So the Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, Yemen, all the countries that are in the Gulf, basically, they can buy anywhere they want. And the foreigners can only buy certain areas, but more than half of Dubai is open to foreigners, 100% ownership, full freehold forever, can be passed to your next in kin. There is no problem at all. There is one area or two that are labeled as 99 years leasehold, like Dubai Silicon Oasis and Dubai Investment Park. Other than that, everything is open for expat to own. Of course, except Jumeirah. But even within Jumeirah, they have created pockets where they have developed beautiful apartments and communities where also expats can own. So it's pretty open for everyone.
And what about the island communities? Is there one called the Palm?
Jumeirah is freehold. Anyone and everyone can buy there. Of course, you have to be able to afford it, because even before COVID, it is quite expensive. But after COVID, it has become heaven for everyone. You have your beach, you have your beautiful views and everything. So we've seen a lot of people migrate to the Palm Jumeirah, which drove the prices quite high. In fact, I sold the property there, 4-bedroom, overlooking a beautiful skylines and the sunsets and the beach and the yachts anchoring nearby, for $10.3 million. That's how properties are priced.
Yeah, I thought I saw it was like an acre sold for like just sand,
yes,
for like 30 million something.
Yes, that was $35 million. That was another
35.
property in a place called Jumeirah Bay. It's basically an area where they have built a beautiful hotel, Bulgari Hotel, and they built residences under the Bulgari brand. So it became very attractive for the wealthy. And then within that, they created a little island outward in the water. And that piece of land has become super, super expensive and all like attracting the wealthy, the people of the world.
So does Airbnb exist in Dubai?
Yes, we have. Absolutely. We have, in fact, just before Expo, as you know, maybe we had Expo 2020. It was a wonderful event. It was a little bit delayed. It was called Expo 2020 because it was supposed to open in 2020, April. But unfortunately, due to the pandemic, it was pushed back 1 year and it was opened in 2021. But it's so a massive success. It was a wonderful experience. And due to that, and in the preparation for that, the holiday home concept opened up in Dubai and became more common. So, and now with COVID, we have seen again huge growth. A lot of companies open that offer the service, and there is a high demand. And mind you, we have plenty of hotels in Dubai as well, but both hotels and Airbnb options are highly occupied right now.
So Larry does Airbnb.
That's
You
why
have any properties that make sense for him? Can you run the numbers for him?
I was thinking while you were talking about Florida, and the governor in Florida has decided that he would not allow any Chinese nationals to buy property in Florida for some reason. That
I think
doesn't
Canada is
happen.
doing the same thing, right? They're not allowing foreigners to buy.
Well, foreigners can buy in Massachusetts, but you have to, your money has to be seasoned. That means it needs to be in a bank, so it can't be a gift or something like that. And they don't.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, obviously.
concerned about laundering money
Mhm.
is the issue.
We also have strict laws here, by the way, of the same.
Right.
We do have to do KYCs. We're required by the government to do that, get
Right.
utility bills, proof of address, everything.
Yeah. The short-term rental, I don't want to say Airbnb because there's really 6 or 7 players.
Yeah.
There's Verbo, there's a bunch of them. It's really about short-term rentals. And this all just kind of exploded here in the United States during the pandemic. People didn't want to go into hotels. They wanted to be in their own properties. And it's kind of among the 30 somethings with some money who can travel and have good jobs. They'd much prefer now to be in a private home.
Yeah.
And that is part of what my business model is right now, purchasing really wonderful homes. I'm coming down from Maine, where I have a property that sits on the water up in Winter Harbor, right near Bar Harbor. And you just have to have specific kinds of things. You need to be near the water. You need to be able to park right on your single family. And most of the time, they want to be able to walk to a place to eat so they can stumble home quite often.
Let's talk about Dubai. Let's not forget. So the
I was
13
answering
agents,
the question, Jim.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to stay the topic. Dounia, the 13 agents that you have now, are they all in your downline? Is that sort of how it's playing out?
Yeah. Some are on my downline. Some are on some of the agents who are sitting in Canada and the US and the UK and South Africa. I had everyone excited about Dubai, working on building a team globally. This is the beauty about EXP. Again, we are able to build in all 24 countries that markets that we operate in. So everyone was excited and everyone is still working. Every day I have to meet candidates from other our colleagues, that they introduce them to Dubai. Yeah,
and it seems like it's all pretty much luxury level properties that are being sold.
Not necessarily. We have a huge demand for luxury, of course, and Dubai is a luxury destination because you have where to spend all the money. You have all the lifestyle choices you do, to spend the money. But we also have normal apartments, from a studio to 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. We have townhouses. We have affordable communities. We have luxurious communities. We cater to all tastes. And the beauty about Dubai, again, is that we all live in a place full of tolerance, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different nationalities and cultures and religions, and we all co-live peacefully. There are no issues. We have churches, we have mosques, we have temples, we have synagogues, we have everything. I mean, it's just the harmony here is just beautiful. I meet people who are coming to visit here every day, and they always fall in love with the place, and they either go back and plan to come back here or just simply choose to move here and build a life here.
Well,
harmony is not something we hear. We hear a lot of cacophony here, but we find our people. It's everybody needs a home.
Well,
yes.
I'm glad it's official. It seemed like Dubai was open and it wasn't quite open yet, but it is officially open for EXP.
Yes, it is officially open. We have transacted our first transaction in March, and then now onboarded the team as of May. Yes, we had, because Dubai is very strict in its regulations, and we also are publicly listed company, so we have to do everything right. We have to go by the books. We don't cut corners. We have to be, and the processes of opening a bank account, process of getting all the documents attested back in the US and coming here and attesting and translating, and the lawyer going through the process, that took us time. But we are here and it is a success, and it is amazing, and everyone that hears about it just is like, what, this really exists? I can earn more money and be independent and free, and it's just amazing. And I look forward to growing this team here.
So I know it's virtual platform, but I have a brick and mortar. There's so many branch offices around the world, and you have a brick and mortar. Do you want to share your screen and put a picture up of what your office looks like? Do you have one?
No, I don't have it on. Sorry. I would have prepared
That's
this
okay.
by here. I can send you one. You can always.
Well, how do people get in touch with you?
It's a very small office. It's Jim. It's not big. It's like just we have 3 desks in it. It's just for the licensing purpose. But then the common facilities, we have a boardroom, we have coffee shop within another floor of the building. We have, you know, pantries and stuff. So it just sometimes when someone comes, you take someone out of an environment, office environment, he still can relate to having a place, because again, we get a lot of international buyers in Dubai, right? And some brokers could be not really brokers, right? Sometimes the clients will ask, okay, can you show me your office? Can you really take me to see if you actually exist as a business? So we get that in Dubai. So yes, I invite them. I say, whenever you have a client who's asking the question, you have a place to bring them, but it's not breaking the bank, and it's giving more flexible, still the same flexibility that we all EXP professionals have around the world. It's just legality that we had to do.
I understand. We use offices, but we don't need them anymore.
Exactly.
Any questions that we should have asked that we didn't?
Just the sales process. Maybe I should just touch on that and say that it's quite simple. You don't require a lawyer or anything. The broker here does everything from A to Z. Eventually, you know, once from agreeing on a buying price, we have everything done on a broker app provided to us by the government. So once you have a broker number or a card that allows you to sell or rent or buy real estate, you have access to that app. You can build all your contracts there, your contract with the seller, your contract with the buyer, then you merge those two. This is on a secondary sale, of course. You merge those two and create a contract F. With that contract F, they are binded legally to sell the property to each other. So we just go through the formalities of obtaining like a no objection letter from the builder to just say that there's no liability on the property, everything is fine, there's no mortgage, no outstanding service charge, and the buyer prepares his manager's checks, and we go to registry or a trustee office to transfer the property, which takes an hour or two. Everything is instant. Everything done through the app, through blockchain. It's quite very simple. If you buy a property from the builder, then you just go to the builder, you choose the property, you pay them a down payment and sign a reservation form, followed by a sales and purchase agreement. They will register the property under you in the government register, and you become the proud owner of that unit. Keep paying your payments until it's ready, and then you get a title deed in your name that you are an owner. It's very simple, very straightforward, very regulated.
Well, there's a whole other show about the blockchain stuff.
Well, I was going to ask you, Larry, do you think that you have a question about the short-term rentals in Dubai?
I do not. I'm really interested in, but we just don't have time on this show to talk about blockchain. I know many in our audience are Bitcoin and blockchain and all of that. We have talked to an expert in this, but it's not related to real estate. People who are buying and selling using these alternative finances. Yeah. So
yeah. So we have, I mean, Dubai is quite smart and digital as well.
How do people get in touch with you if they want to reach out, or they're planning to come?
So anyone from EXP will find me on work chat, of course, and feel free to message me or email me. Anyone who's not part of EXP, I have an Instagram called Ask Dounia, AskDounia, and I usually answer all my messages if they are within work conversation. I will answer them. I will, you know, be in touch as well. So they can find me, or on my LinkedIn, Dounia Fadi as well as.
This was
So
exciting.
great to meet you, Dounia.
Thank
So
you.
so great to have you on the show. And if you're looking to like us on Facebook, LinkedIn, all the podcast channels we're on, please do. And we'll be back next week with the eXponential Files. Thank you so much, Dounia Fadi from eXp Dubai, and Larry